Good morning, everyone. It's Sal, Stretford Post. How you all doing? And welcome to another episode of Breaking Dawn. I hope you're doing good. I hope you're doing fine. Thank you guys for joining me this morning. It's Friday again. What? Let's get it in, guys. 24 hours before Manchester United face Nottingham Forest in a another pivotal league game, Premier League game, guys. I'm excited. I'm anxious. I just want the game to come along. Lots of talk, loads of talk, and we just want it to happen now. We don't want any more talk. We just want the game to come now, and that is what we want at the end of the day, guys. Now, let's get straight into some Man United news. But before I do that, please could you kindly subscribe to the channel if you are new. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, should I say. And please don't forget to smash a like on the video, guys. Notifications on, all that sweetness, guys. Thank you so much for joining me today, you guys. You absolute legends, you all are, guys. Thank you. Now, let's get into some news. Of course, you may have heard yesterday about Lucas Paqueta, who plays for West Ham. Manchester United may make a January move for Lucas Paqueta. Now, how are we going to make this January move? Well, apparently Man United could get Paqueta on a loan deal with an obligation to buy at the end of the season, but West Ham are holding out for a 35 million euro fee for the player, for the Brazilian international, of course, guys, who has over 50 caps for Brazil, guys, and 12 goals, guys. So, look, 59 caps to be exact, and 12 goals, absolutely unbelievable. So he is a very underrated player, so to speak. But Manchester United are looking in to bring Lucas Paqueta into Manchester United during the AFCON, of course, because obviously we're going to lose in Bremo for the AFCON. So Man United are looking into bringing in this player. Look, as I've said many times, guys, in regards to Conor Gallagher, in regards to Paqueta, I'm not bothered by this. I like this because we need it. We need bodies. We need numbers. That's what Man United need. And what I would say is that if we get Paqueta, Lucas Paqueta, it'd be great for our squad. It'd be brilliant for our squad, of course. Now, obviously, Ruben Amorim loves to play Bruno in the middle of the park, and he doesn't want to move Bruno into the number 10. When we lose in Bremo, it is a possibility that Bruno can move into that number 10. However, we have got Xerxes, we've got Mason Mount as well, so things can change, but Cunha likes to play on that left. But he wants to keep Bruno in the midfield, so this is the reason why we'll probably bring in someone like Paqueta, who could be a stopgap for what's to come in the summer, or not. He's 28 years old. He's not young. And bring them in wouldn't be a bad idea, in my opinion. Would I purchase Paqueta? Would I pay 35, 40 million for Paqueta? I don't know, guys, to be honest with you. I don't know about that. But he's 28 years old. I don't think we should do that. If we can try and work out some kind of loan with an obligation to buy, I think that would be a lot better for Manchester United going forward, and it will help our squad immensely. Absolutely, guys. That would. Obviously, very Premier League experience, been playing for West Ham for a number of years now. So he's a good player. He's always given us kind of problems whenever we played him against him. He's always given us problems. He's always been the one to, give us issues during the game and stuff like that. If we all remember, of course, guys, absolutely. But yeah, Lucas Paqueta, Manchester United, going forward, guys. Let's wait and see what happens in regards to that. It's something to look at for in January, of course, guys. I'm glad we are looking at January players, of course, guys. Now, another player been mentioned on the show before, a young Brazilian international, another Brazilian player, of course, guys, is Bruno Biden. Bruno Biden is a 20-year-old midfielder, attacking midfielder and CDM, so he's very versatile, who plays for Corinthians. Now, this player has come onto the fore over the last year, and he's deemed a prospect, a superstar prospect, a generational prospect out of Brazil, and a future Brazilian international. 20 years old only, Corinthians player, of course, versatile, valued at around 12 million euros. And this is what we're talking about when you're talking about Brazil, when you're talking about Argentina. You can get these players for a relatively cheap price, guys, a relatively cheap price. And 12 million euros, how much is it going to be for Manchester United? 20, 25 million? It's not bad, is it, at the end of the day? And I do like the fact that we are looking at these type of players. We're looking at the next up-and-coming thing. And not only that, the players that are playing regularly for their respective clubs, and which is a big thing as well, of course. Not just players who are broken into the youth system sort of thing, like young players. I'm talking about young players, but are actually playing football, which is important. You know what I mean? Not like players we're bringing in recently that have come into the football club, have never had first team football, but they're talented, but they've never had first team football. Do you know what I mean? So it's good that we're looking at players like Bruno Biden, a very decent, capable, young player who has a bright future ahead of him. And I think Man United should steal a march on these type of players. Because they could end up becoming generational and world-class players. And listen, you're not going to spend much money on them. You're going to spend, 12 to 20, as I said, 25 million on a player like that. He's worth about 12 million. I'm adding about 10, 13 million tax onto that. So I'm saying that, 20, 25 million, you can get Bruno Biden and from Brazil, CM, attacking midfielder and a CDM. So, look, guys, a very, very versatile player for his age. It shows an element of maturity, in my opinion. And I think that's a very, very shrewd move for Man United. Now, another guy is kind of like a player that has been mentioned over a year now. And lots of people have been speaking about him. And he's kind of folklore when it comes to Man United. He's kind of a tradition when it comes to Man United these days, because we do bring him up quite a lot on the channel. And his name is Ayoub Bouyedi. Ayoub Bouyedi is a Lille player who's 18 years old, who is deemed one of the highest prospects in France. Very, very talented player, only 18. He is a central midfielder, a CDM currently playing for Lille, but not only playing for Lille, like I said earlier, he's actually playing first-team football, guys. He's playing first-team football for Lille. So, look, he's getting the experience. He's got 7 caps, 1 goal. Guys, he's going to be a great player, guys. He is. And Ayoub Bouyedi has come to the fore again in regards to the media. But Man United are scouting Ayoub Bouyedi. Of course, Nice played Lille at the weekend, and there were Manchester United scouts at that game. Obviously, and Nice won the game. I think Nice won the game in the end 2-0. But Bouyedi played, I think, 60 minutes in that game, I believe, something like that. So, obviously, there was a chance for Ineos or whoever the scouts were, whether it was Walkers, Vavel, or Barada, in the stadium to look at Bouyedi, of course, guys, which is important because he is a very, very talented player. And I think this is the type of player that we need to go after, of course, like Manchester City have signed Mamouche and Cherki. We need to get the next one as well. We need to get Ayoub Bouyedi. I think we should get him. There's been a lot of noise surrounding his name over the last few months, of course, guys. It's been over a year. We've been talking about Ayoub Bouyedi. And I think that he is obviously a very talented individual. 7 caps, like I said, guys, 7 caps and, 1 goal. And I think that 18 years old, we need to grab that player, get that player. CDM, 30 million euros, guys, 30 million euros. Around 50 million, you would say, for Manchester United with the Man United tax and all that. So we would say around 50 million euros for Manchester United. And that is something that we can look at in the future, of course. If guys, the great thing about all this, right, we are looking at a mixture of players, whether they be experienced, whether they be young as well, guys, which is a good thing, to be honest with you. Obviously, we've been linked with Angelo Stiller, of course. We've been speaking about Ian Sobriabra, of course, of Argentina as well, guys. Absolutely. And it's good that we're looking at various players from around the world that can fit the bill and do a job for Manchester United. Absolutely. And each one of these players have their own set of unique skills, as Liam Neeson once said. And they will bring something to the football club and bring a new dimension, a new future for Manchester United, of course, guys. But look, guys, great news, great transfer news, some positive news coming out of Man United, of course, guys. And there's another player, like I mentioned it before, a couple of weeks ago now, and other outlets are starting to catch up with it now. They're starting to talk about it now. The player's name is Karim Alegbegovic. All right, so Alegbegovic, Karim Alegbegovic. He is an RB Salzburg player, 18 years old, the youngest Bosnian striker ever to score. Guys, for Bosnia, he can play as a left wing, attacking midfielder, a right wing, and a striker. 1 goal for Bosnia, and very, very good young player coming out of the ranks. And a lot of media outlets are starting to talk about it now. Of course, I did mention it, of course, guys, a while ago, didn't I? I did mention it a while ago. And yeah, look, I like this. I like this kind of player. Obviously, we can't just sign young players, but the fact that we're mixing it up and having contingency plans just show you that we are working hard in transfers, and we really want to fix that midfield. And obviously the attack in the summer as well, guys. Of course, Man United do need reinforcements in the squad as well. Not so much first team as well, in the squad as well, as we are saying, guys. Now, we are playing Nottingham Forest tomorrow. It's a very important game, of course, guys. Massive game, of course. There's a lot of people waiting in the wings, waiting for us to lose, of course, because we won 3 in a row. And the rivals and some, sad to say, some Man United fans want us to lose. That is just ridiculous. But we are ready for the game tomorrow. And I firmly believe that Man United will win the game. I did predict that Man United will win the game 2-0. I know we got a little bit giddy in a preview show yesterday, but I do believe Man United win the game about 2-0. I would take any victory, to be honest with you. The thing with Nottingham Forest, of course, Nottingham Forest are going to be very, very, very hard to beat, hard to break down, defensive. They don't score many goals. So I do believe if Man United just play their game and we nick a goal, we can actually pick off Nottingham Forest like Chelsea did the other week when they won 3-0. Sean Dyche did lose his first game as Nottingham Forest manager against Bournemouth 2-0. So obviously he didn't quite get his new manager bounce, but this is the first time he's in the Premier League at the City Ground at home against Man United, which doesn't get any bigger than that. So he's gonna aim to make a mark. Of course, there was all those sly comments, and we all know what Sean Dyche meant when he was talking about the 4-4-2 and the 3-4-2-1. We all know what he meant by that. But I really do like what Ruben Amorim responded with, i.e., you could win more games with 4-4-2, but in the long term, you're not going to win more games than me. If you give me a chance, if you give it time, it's going to work, and our formation and our tactics are going to work, and it's going to be better. I like that response. This has already got a little bit of spice into it because obviously those comments, Sean Dyche said clickbait and all this stuff, of course, and trying to be a little bit defensive. But I saw that interview when it happened on the overlap. I did see that. And to be honest with you, it was a sly comment. It was. And I thought that at the time when Sean Dyche said that. Now, it's up to us not to get caught up in the moment, not to get too upset by what that. Our main focus should be just winning that game, playing our football and winning that game and not letting anything deter us from what's the most important thing, which is getting the 3 points against Nottingham Forest and doing 4 games in a row, guys, which would be absolutely brilliant considering where we were a month ago, of course, guys. So it is a very important game, but a very difficult game as well. It's going to be hard to break down Nottingham Forest. And over the last couple of games, they have given us a difficult time. So we need to put one over them as well, just like we needed to put one over Brighton, just like we needed to put one over on Liverpool as well, guys. We needed to do that, and we need to do that tomorrow. And that would be absolutely brilliant if we manage to do that, if we manage to come out of that game with 3 points and we managed to get the 4 out of 4. That'd be brilliant. Absolutely. Let me just say hello to some of the comments, some of the legends, of course. Big up, Benny. What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. If we score in the first 20 minutes, we'll beat them. We'll pick them off. I agree, Benny. This is the key for me. I think that absolutely spot on. I think Man United need to aim at scoring first. If we score first, I do believe that the game will open up a little bit more. Nottingham Forest will have to come at us and we can pick them off, so to speak. It would be, Man United have a good record against Sean Dyche over the years when he was at Burnley, etc. But this is, of course, a different game. I'm not going to paint it with the same brush, but it's absolutely right. If we do get the first goal, if the first goal goes in, then I see Man United winning this game pretty comfortably. I'm talking about 2-0, 3-0. Absolutely. I really do think that. I don't see how Man United can lose this game unless it's a refereeing decision, a red card or something like that. We have to believe that we can win this game. And tomorrow, it is an important game. It's a massive game. This is the biggest one. The Liverpools, the Brightons, they're gone now. This is the biggest one. We think about tomorrow and we think about getting the 3 points and moving up temporarily maybe, but to second place in the Premier League. And you're looking at the games in the Premier League at the weekend. You got obviously teams playing Bournemouth, Liverpool. I think it is Liverpool are playing Bournemouth or something. I think Tottenham are playing Chelsea. So, look, there is points to be dropped there, guys. There is points to be. Liverpool playing Aston Villa. I think Man City are playing Bournemouth and Tottenham are playing Chelsea. There is points to be dropped, guys. You know what I mean? And Man United need to do our job. And one of the biggest problems about Man United over the last few years is that we haven't capitalized on other teams. And this time, we need to capitalize on any drop points, guys, because tomorrow is a perfect opportunity to make up ground, to get in that top 4, solidify our top 4 place, guys. Absolutely. And we could be second by the end of play tomorrow, guys, all being well, of course. Absolutely. Let me just read some of your comments, of course, guys. Big up everyone in the house. Big up Benny, of course, the member, of course, guys. Big up Benny. Big up Ephraim. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good morning, Sal. I am so excited for tomorrow game. Let's make it out 4 in a row. Absolutely. Ephraim, Sal, Paqueta is a very good. I would take him on loan as an option. It would be a great option for loan. I would agree with that. I don't think Man United should purchase him. I don't. However, the one thing I would say is that why would West Ham do a loan if they're not going to get any benefit from that? unless Man United pay him a hefty sum of money. West Ham are in problems this season. West Ham have got issues this season. West Ham need as many players as they can possibly muster this season. They're in the running to be relegated. So look, to be honest with you, I would love Man United to get him on loan. However, I do believe that it's going to be difficult to get him on loan unless we got an obligation to buy there. So we might have to put an obligation to buy there so we can get him at the end of the season. He's not an absolutely astronomical amount of money, but he's going to cost you 30-40 million at least. Absolutely. Big up, Sanjay. What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, of course. Good morning, Stephen. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Neves on loan, or is that dead in the water? At the moment, there's nothing going on in regards to Ruben Neves. There's a little bit of links to Man United and Ruben Neves. Ruben Amorim does want Ruben Neves, of course, got the Portuguese influence in there. But it's said to be a little bit difficult, obviously, he's at the Saudi Arabian club at the moment, so it's going to be difficult to get him in. He would be one of my first choices, absolutely, because obviously he's experienced. He's still a Portuguese international, a very capable player. But look, even if it's Conor Gallagher, Paqueta, any one of those players, guys, I'll be absolutely delighted with, because the way we're in at the moment, we're looking at the AFCON. And the games that we have to play against Aston Villa, against Manchester City, against Arsenal, potentially, it's going to be a very difficult time. I know we got enough cover in there to get through it, maybe, but you also have to worry about injuries and fitness and things like that. And I do believe that if we got Conor Gallagher, if we got a Paqueta, I don't think that would be a bad thing at all. I would even go as far as to say, why don't we go after an Endrick and things like that, players such as that ilk. Now, there was a big far out news and breaking news in regards to Manchester United and Vinicius Junior, Manchester United and Rodrigo and players of that ilk. Now, Man United are not going to sign Vinicius Junior. I just want to clear that up right now. Vinicius Junior will cost an astronomical amount of money, and Man United don't really need that position at the moment. And Man United can't be spending how much is Vinicius Junior going to cost? Exactly. So, at the end of the day, I believe that news is a little bit far out there. There's always one far out there bit of news that, what you look at and you think, oh, what are you talking about? What are you talking about, Willis? Do you know what I mean? Absolutely not. Man United are going nowhere near Vinicius Junior. Guys, absolutely. Absolutely. Jeremiah, what's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Why would they sell that exactly? And he is not a midfielder, but does well in the number 10. He can play as number 10 and the deep line number 10 midfield. He has played in midfield before, but he is a specialist number 10, of course. The reason we want to bring him in, Jeremiah, is because our right side is going to be absolutely redundant when the AFCON comes along. And it's quite obvious that Ruben Amorim doesn't trust Xerxes, and he wants to maintain Bruno in that midfield. So when you're looking at the team, you want to bring in another attacking midfielder, and that's what he wants to do. And Paqueta fits the bill for him. And if we can bring him in on a loan with an obligation to buy, that'll be good for us. However, this is exactly what I brought into the show earlier on. Why would West Ham do it? The only way West Ham would do it, if it's financial viable for them. They're not going to loan him out to Man United for nothing. It's going to cost money, of course, guys. And they would want to fill up their pockets slightly. And also, West Ham are in a little bit of a pickle when it comes to the Premier League. It's a bit difficult for them at the moment. They are struggling. So do you know what I would say is that let's play that by ear, but Man United are looking at players to bring in January. There was also talk about Endrick coming on loan as well, just to fill in the void in regards to that number 10 position, because it is likely that we're going to be missing Ahmad and Mbeumo for the AFCON, guys. So we have to at least get one attacking player in there, and it's quite obvious that he doesn't trust Xerxes. So, and that is the problem that we're facing at the moment. Wasn't there a betting case against? Yeah, but there's lots of things going on with these players. At the end of the day, it's a loan deal. I don't really mind, to be honest with you. Not bothers me as long as he doesn't bet on Man United. Stephen, if United have the money, get Stiller or Anderson. That would be great. Look, Man United will not get Stiller or Anderson in January, unfortunately. There is a possibility that Stiller could be coming January. There's a small likelihood that he will come in January. However, it's a very small one. Man United are looking at bargains at the moment, are looking at loan deals at the moment. Most of the Man United's big business will be done in the summer, obviously, because this is the fiscal year, the same one as the summer. So if Man United spend or overly spend, it can eat up into their budget and affect their FFP and PSR, of course. So what I would say is that, I would love Angelo Stiller, not Ben Stiller. He's the one in Dodgeball. I would love Angelo Stiller at Manchester United, absolutely. However, it does look like a summer job. But it's not in the realms of impossibility. Let's play that by ear and let's see what happens. Big up, Sal. What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Big up, Sal. Big yesterday, by the way. Couple of good work. Thank you so much, Coco. And thank you for your support, my friend. I really appreciate your support. I really appreciate everyone who supported me yesterday. I hope you understood the message. That's all I would say is, obviously, I was talking about people who want Manchester United to lose so they could be proven wrong. That was the key quote there, right? They want Man United to lose so they can be proven right, should I say, guys. So that they don't like Ruben Amorim, so they want Ruben Amorim to lose so Ruben Amorim could get sacked and they could say, I told you so. You know what I mean? Those sort of things. There are actually fans that are vying for Man United to lose tomorrow. It's pathetic, in my opinion. But it's just the nature of the beast, unfortunately, where we are at the moment, of course. Absolutely. Leeson, hi, Sal. Let's go for Stiller and Biden. Big up, Leeson. Hope you're well. Good players, both of them. If we score in the first 15, 20 minutes, we'll beat them. Yes, I read that one. Big up, Benny. Absolutely. I agree with that. Absolutely. Tomorrow will be a test for Anderson, I guess. I say it will be a test. And obviously, we had Baleba last week, and then we're going to have Anderson tomorrow, and we're going to have Adam Wharton at the end of the month, next month, of course. So we're going to see which one of those players plays the best against Man United. You know what I mean? And maybe then we can make our decision. Which one should we get? Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day. And who knows? But they're all good players. I would be happy with any one of those guys, especially Anderson and Adam Wharton. That would be absolutely incredible. I think that those two players in particular will fix Man United tenfold. But don't be surprised, guys, if a number of the players that are playing tomorrow, not just Anderson, but the likes of Gibbs, of course, Jesus, they've got up front as well. These kind of players. I mean, Woods hasn't really made his name. He was the top scorer last season, wasn't he? So we haven't even spoke about these sort of players, of course, but they're not putting the ball in the back of the net at the moment. But don't be surprised if miraculously they turn up tomorrow, because this is what they do. This is what these teams do. And we've had to put up with this kind of thing for many, many years, of course, teams that just miraculously turn up against Manchester United. We have to be ready. We have to be ready for every single scenario, of course. Callum Hudson-Odoi as well plays for Nottingham Forest. Very good player as well. So we're going to have to be on our toes, and hopefully we are. Absolutely. No excuses for one game a week now. These players should be ready every weekend. I hope so, mate. It's very important that Man United are ready for the game tomorrow. It's absolutely imperative that Man United go tomorrow and win that game. Look, a draw wouldn't be the end of the world. It's not going to be a nightmare. It's not going to be the end. That's the Premier League. The Premier League is competitive. That's what happens sometimes, right? But it'd be great if Man United can go in there, make it 4 in a row, and keep up this momentum going into the Spurs game, of course, because we need as much confidence going into that game as humanly possible, of course. And at the end of the day, we should be ready. They've been working on the tactics all week, and to be honest with you, if we're being totally honest with ourselves, you can see that the tactics are starting to come to the fore. The tactics are starting to work, and this is what we're talking about. When people are saying, "Oh, he's tweaked his system," it's all rubbish. It's lies. It's manipulative, wrong information. Players are just getting used to the formation. Players are getting used to the tactics, and different players in the team as well that play the system better as well. We didn't have, for example, Mbeumo and Cunha last season, or Lamens. Do you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, better players. Players getting used to the system, and it's working, and hopefully we bring it on tomorrow against Nottingham Forest. What these players have to understand is that we've gone away to Liverpool. We've won at Liverpool. Nobody wins at Liverpool. I know people are going to throw at me, oh, they lost to Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace beat Liverpool kids, right? That was it. Let me just say that. Liverpool reserves, Liverpool kids, okay? So that was what it was, right? So Man United beat a proper Liverpool side at Anfield, and we should have no fear in going to Nottingham Forest and teams like that. We should carry on this momentum and absolutely squash the floor with them, of course. Benny, Paqueta's very good, but at 28, I'd rather Gallagher and wait until the summer for permanent deals. They're two very different players, Benny. But Gallagher's a midfielder, Paqueta's an attacking midfielder. So what Man United are looking at, Man United are not going to lose Casemiro, Man United are not going to lose Ugarte, Man United are not going to lose Bruno for the AFCON. They will lose Mbeumo, they will lose Ahmad for the AFCON. So what Man United are looking at is bringing in an attacking midfielder temporarily. We can't play Conor Gallagher as a number 10, can we, mate? So you have to think about what kind of players we need, right, at the moment. And we have to fit in the void that Mbeumo is going to be leaving and Ahmad is going to be leaving, of course. So that's the idea behind it, my friend. Absolutely. Arda Güler for me, Sal, brilliant player. Don't think Real Madrid will let him go, though, my friend. Big up Chadosi. He's having a good season so far. How are you doing, Mars? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Big up, Freddie. What's going on, my friend? Hope we're doing well. Can't wait for Saturday. We just got to show up like we did in the past 3 games, and surely it's a win. We have to keep our feet on the ground. Of course, it's going to be difficult. They're going to be vying they're going to want to upset Man United, especially Sean Dyche. This is what these managers and these teams live for. This is what they're all about. They live for stopping teams like us from winning. That's what they love, isn't it, at the end of the day? Stephen, Moore Gibson Wright is a very good player, would be fit into United system. Maybe, I don't know. He's gone a little bit quiet this year, of course, was also like in the England squad not long ago. He's gone a little bit quiet. Last season was fantastic, but a lot of the players at Nottingham Forest are fantastic. Last season before, they were brilliant. But what I would say is that, yeah, he's gone a little bit off the boil, to be honest with you, but a very good player nonetheless. UK, Darren, what's going on, Darren? What are you doing, my friend? 2-0, 3-1 versus Forest. Come on, you Reds. Big up, Darren. Absolutely, I would take that all day long. As long as it's not a stressful afternoon for us Man United fans, we would like a lovely, comfortably 2 pillows, nice and comfy sort of win against them. That would be absolutely brilliant, isn't it? Listen, we should keep the momentum, beat Forest and Spurs before the international break. Wouldn't that be beautiful, Lisa, if Man United managed to beat Forest and then go and beat Spurs? I mean, look, guys, if we beat Forest, guys, I'm not going to say that Man United have to beat Spurs or it's the end of the world. We beat Forest and we draw against Spurs. Then we got a few games coming up that we can win as well, likes of Everton and teams like that Man United can win. So Spurs is going to be a very difficult game. The most important thing for us to do is not lose to Spurs. We shouldn't lose to Spurs. We can beat Spurs. I know it, and I think we will beat Spurs. But I think if we beat Nottingham Forest, and we remain unbeaten going into the international break, I think it'll be very good. Of course, if we have 5 out of 5 and we win 5 games out of 5, I think, my goodness me, the vibes and the energy will be in this community and Man United over the international break would be absolutely incredible, wouldn't it? At the end of the day, then we're going into that Everton game on fire. Of course, one of our better performances was against Everton last season. You remember, I was in a hotel that day. I remember doing the watch along, and it was 4-0 to Manchester United. It was a very, very good game. I remember it, and one of Ruben Amorim's best games, still to this day. Chidozi would love a clean sheet tomorrow. Yeah, I would love a clean sheet tomorrow as well, my guy. Absolutely, I would love Senny Lamens to keep a clean sheet. And one thing that differs from other seasons is that we got Senny Lamens in goal, a confident, calm, competent keeper between the sticks. And I think this is very important. It's been underestimated how much we missed this kind of thing at Manchester United. Having Licha Martinez back in training is absolutely brilliant, but we can't rush him back. I know that Argentina are rubbing their hands. They want to bring Licha Martinez back, but Argentina need to sit back a little bit and calm down, calm their tits a little bit. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, look, he's just come back from an injury. If you saw his pictures in training, you saw the scar down his knee. You would see that he's had a very, very serious injuries, and we need to look after him and we need to nurture him back slowly. I would like to bring him back in the Everton game, to be honest with you, after the international break, get him a little bit of training, get him up to speed and bring him back in the Everton game, of course. But Man United right now, I think Man United should go unchanged for the game against Nottingham Forest. I don't think we should change this team. I think the team is good enough. There was news about Maguire. Maguire's starting to pick up a little few injuries, isn't he? He's starting to get a little bit edgy with his fitness. He used to be one of those players who were never injured. Do you remember? Now he's like injured every 5 minutes. So I think Lenny Euro, De Ligt, Luke Shaw in the middle. We have Dalot on the left. I know I don't agree with Dalot on the left, but I'll keep it there. Ahmad on the right, Casemiro and Bruno in midfield. You have Cunha and Mbuemo as the number 10s, and you have Sesko up front. And that is how we should do it. And that should roll off the tongue. Now, we should start thinking about what is our best team now and start playing our best team every single week, of course, and getting them used to each other, of course. Absolutely. Big up to Chichi. What's happening with you? I hope you're doing well. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing blessed. Good to see you again in the house. The legend of Chichi, of course. One of the originators of Stretford Post, of course. And big up everyone who's come in and joining me and followed and subscribed and become a member. I really appreciate every single one of you. You're absolute legends, guys. There's nothing I want more than a successful Manchester United. That is what I want. That is why I'm here, because I want to witness with you guys a successful Manchester United. And Manchester United that will win a league or a Champions League. Imagine the vibes on the channel. Can you imagine it? What it will be like? It would be absolutely incredible. I know some people look at me when I talk like that and think, you're delusional, Sal. You're delusional. Stop talking rubbish, blah, blah, blah. Do you know what I mean? And I actually believe it can happen. You know what I mean? I believe it can happen. One day, I believe it could happen. But we got to keep our feet on the ground and step by step, brick by brick. And hopefully that top place by 2028 doesn't look too bad, doesn't it? Doesn't look like so far-fetched at the end of the day, of course. Benny, Any chance we might see some of the youth players being brought up in the first team when AFCON is on? Scanlon, Lacey, look, you know what? I'm a big fan. Scanlon, Lacey, Fletcher, Ibrahimov, Musa, these players who have been absolutely phenomenal for the under-20s, the under-21s and stuff. I will be absolutely buzzing if we do. I'll be vibes, man, if we can bring through Shea Lacey, for example. Shea Lacey is a generational. Shea Lacey has been training with the first team. Now, the biggest worry for me in regards to this is JJ Gabriel. Now, JJ Gabriel, when he turns 16, can sign for any football club in the world with obviously a compensation fee. A small compensation fee. So JJ Gabriel's my favorite. He's going to be the next Lamine Yamal. He's going to be the next Messi. I'm telling you right now, guys, quote me. We need to make sure that we keep JJ Gabriel in cotton wool and we convince him to stay at Manchester United, because there's no point having him at Man United if he's not going to stay at Man United. Do you know what I mean? So I really do hope that we give JJ Gabriel a chance in the first team, maybe 5-10 minutes here and there. If we're winning a game, bring him on, throw him on. Do you know what I mean? Because then he'll think, yeah, I'm part of the system. I'm part of the team. I'm playing first team football. That's what you want. Because then you could turn around to JJ Gabriel and say, look, JJ, we're going to give you a path into the first team. You're going to play in first team and you're going to have the best opportunity to develop under Ruben Amorim at Manchester United. And that's what I want. But Shea Lacey, generational player, brilliant. We'll love him at Man United, playing at Man United, should I say. First team football. Yeah, look, bring him on 20 minutes here and there. You know what I mean? It can't harm, could it? And this is exactly what I've been saying for a while now, obviously. If you don't rate certain players, try and bring some through. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, guys, absolutely. Chi, one thing that baffles me is how the pundits doesn't recognize you speak yet. You said something about how Lamens is better keeper, and I swear all you said is happening, sir. You are great. Thank you, Chi. Thank you, my friend. I really appreciate you, and thank you so much for remembering. You know what I mean? I really appreciate it. Look, I'm not here to be proven right or wrong, Chi. I'm here to speak about Man United. This is my life. I study football. I know about football beyond the Premier League and in South America, in Africa, whether it's Hearts of Oak or FC Tokyo, I'm there. You know what I mean? And to be honest with you, I love football, and I've known about Senny Lamens for over a year, nearly 2 years now. And people are saying we don't need him. He's not that good enough. He can't catch. He can't. This is exactly the way people were talking yesterday, this week about Stiller. Oh, he's too short. He's too slow. When he's completely the opposite of that. Do you know what I mean? The best thing to do is to do your own research and stuff like that. I do know who's on Manchester United's wish list. I do know who Man United want. And I do know what kind of caliber player that they want. And you'll be surprised what kind of caliber player that they want. Now, when you look at the likes of Thomas Tuchel for England, he's dropped a load of superstars at England and playing the best balanced team. And England are getting results. Do you know what I mean? I think this is what Man United are trying to do at the moment. They're trying to find the best balance, not necessarily the superstar. But thank you so much, Gigi. Really appreciate you. Absolutely good to see you in the house, of course, guys. I'm glad that Senny Lamens is getting the accolades that he deserves. Obviously, it's still early days. He's still got a long way to go, but, you know, you can see that he's bringing a calm and influence onto our team, and I think that is a great thing at the end of the day, and it's great for our football club. Absolutely. Mars. I feel like our biggest problem is keeping people healthy. I mean, that's a general problem. It's a general problem in sports. So it's in particularly a big problem for Manchester United because we've had a problem about injuries for a very long time now. We know that Man United's medical team, the medical department, have been called into question loads of times, of course. And it's not just under Ruben Amorim. You remember when Erik ten Hag was manager, they were saying it was Erik ten Hag's training regime that made them injured. And, you know, I mean, another thing they were proven wrong with. To be honest with you. But what I would say is that, yeah, I actually think that we need to change our medical department. I do believe that. I think that we need to move on from that because it doesn't have a good record, and there's no coincidence that we keep picking up these little niggles and these injuries and stuff like that. Even the players that have generally been mainstays and always fit are starting to pick up these little injuries and stuff like that. So it is a problem. Leeson, big up Leeson. Leeson, any news about now? No, there's not any news at the moment. Obviously, the Glazers are very slow in responding to news in regards to the sale of the football club. I'm living in the UAE. If anything comes out of the UAE, I would know about it, absolutely, but nothing concrete yet. But that doesn't mean that things aren't happening behind the scenes. These kind of things do take time. And if you think about Man United selling the football club, if we want Man United to sell the football club, it's going to take at least a year and a half, 2 years. It's not going to be straight away. These things, it's going to take a long time, especially the way that the Glazers do things, of course. It'd be a godsend for the Glazers to leave the football club. Absolutely. There are going to be people who are trying to get clicks and trying to get likes to fabricate news about the sale, which isn't true. There are them out there that do that. Unfortunately, put a shake on their thumbnail, big yellow writing, sell 5 billion and da. Look, the Sheikhs are interested in, UAE are interested in investing in Manchester United, in particular Dubai. Obviously, Abu Dhabi were and now own Manchester City. Dubai want to buy a football club in England, one of them. Al Turkey, the one who first broke the news about Man United selling the football club, he's looking to buy a Premier League football club at the moment. That's not necessarily Man United, but he does want to invest into the Premier League, of course, guys. And the Sheikh of Dubai, of course, obviously is one of them that are looking to invest in Man United, which is the ICD, of course, guys, the Investment Corporation of Dubai. We've also got Legatum, of course, who are a big corporation there, who own GB News. They want to invest in Man United as well, guys. So, yeah, there's a lot of things that could be happening, but nothing is going to be happening quickly. It's going to be slow. You might get bits and bobs of news every now and then, but the news coming out of UAE at the moment is relatively quiet, but that's not to say that things ain't going on behind the shadows, behind the scenes, of course, guys. But let's play that by ear. But I guarantee you, rest assured that I will be recovering it if I get any news about it. I'm always constantly over here in the UAE trying to find out what's going on with Man United. Is there anything going on with Man United? Are the UAE going to purchase Man United and stuff like that? Absolutely. And they're very voiceful here, so we will hear about it if it did happen, of course. Absolutely. Ichichi, you look good, Mr. Sal. Thank you so much, my friend. The black and white shirt of Mr. Sal. Thanks so much for being a great United fan, sir. I enjoy hearing you. I enjoy seeing you, Ichichi. I've enjoyed seeing you since the day you came here many, many months ago. Thank you so much for being a coveted member of Stretford Post, a coveted subscriber of Stretford Post. Really appreciate you, and I appreciate all the subscribers that subscribe to Stretford Post. It's much love. Thank you so much for your compliments, your kind words, of course. Guys, Sal, can we say that we are in a title race? Jadosi, look, I love the positivity. I do. Can we say yet? Let's wait and see after tomorrow. If we beat, look, I said a couple of weeks ago that we've got these bunch of games, right? We got Nottingham Forest and then we got Spurs. I see Spurs as like a sort of mini cup final, if you know what I mean, like a mini cup final. So we'll play Nottingham Forest and then we end with Spurs before the international break. And I think that can be deemed a make or break for me. In regards to a title challenge. If Man United beat Nottingham Forest and if Man United beat Spurs, then you have to say Man United are in a title challenge. You can say technically Man United are in a title challenge, and we should believe that. We should believe that. We should have that in our head. And I've said that many, many times. We have to aim high, and we should aim at that. I posted a video on Twitter day before yesterday. It was Alex Ferguson back in 1998 when Man United lost the league to Arsenal. And he was saying on that video, he said, basically, look, sometimes you can't win the league. You know, you can't win the league and you're not good enough to win the league. But you should always have the ambition to win the league in your head. You should always aim at winning the league. And this is exactly what I've been talking about for months and years, is that aim for the stars, land on the moon, aim for the moon, land on the clouds, aim for the stars and all this business. You know what I mean? So what I would say is that we need to aim high, basically. That's what Man United need to do. And I think that Man United should have subconsciously in their head, we're aiming at the top. And that's what I believe. And that's what I said in the short video the other day, that we should always be aiming at the top, not lowering our expectations. Because you know what? If you lower your expectations, subconsciously, you're going to lower your performance as well. So I always believe that you should aim high. However, with every single win, with Nottingham Forest, we win against Nottingham Forest, we win against Spurs. Guys, it's going to signify a big boost, isn't it, going into that international break, and then we play Everton, we beat Everton. Guys, if we get into January, let's say January time, and we're a few points from the top, are you going to give up? No, you're not, isn't it? We need to make sure we're at touching distance to the top. And if we can remain touching distance to the top, that's when you can push for a title challenge, which we haven't had in 15 years. I know that we've come second sometimes, but we would come very comfortably, like very low second, obviously, with 20 points from the top and stuff like that. We need a proper title challenge, which will be a refreshing boost to Man United if we manage to do that. Wouldn't it be absolutely incredible if Man United and Ruben Amorim managed to catch Arteta, managed to win the league before Arteta? Wouldn't that be absolutely incredible, guys, if that happened? That would be embarrassing for Arsenal, but absolutely brilliant. Uchichi, sorry, Mr. Sal. I have been watching your podcast, but might not be commenting sometimes. Thank you, Uchichi. I appreciate you anyway. You're an absolute superstar. Thank you so much. I wouldn't say Lamau. I would. Why not? Yamal is a brat. He is a brat. Yeah, attitude-wise, I agree. But I'm talking about the old. It sounds funny saying the old Lamine Yamal because he's so young. But I mean the Lamine Yamal that broke through in the Barcelona team. Obviously, attitude is very important. Some players, they think they made it before they've made it. You know, I bring in the old Man United from the past, Beckham and Scholes and that, and how they used to stay behind in training, even though they were already world-class players. Beckham was already one of the best free kick takers on earth, if not of all time, kept practicing his free kicks. Cantona kicking balls against the cliff, you know, a wall against the wall every now and then, you know, way after training ends. Practice. And I think that is where lots of new players, a new generation of players are failing and they're not reaching those levels. Right. Some people may say, oh, he's on the level of Messi, he's on the level of Ronaldo. But people don't understand, for example, Cristiano Ronaldo, how hard Cristiano Ronaldo worked on his craft, how hard he worked on improving as a footballer and as a person as well. And to be honest with you, a lot of these players get rich too soon, which automatically takes a little bit of edge from them. And then they don't feel, then they think they're making it. They made it already. I'm the best. I've done this. I'm the best. And he's not, you know, and he's not yet. And the decline is pretty evident. You know what I mean? And there'll be a moment in there which will be absolutely astonishing, that when Marcus Rashford takes his place, do you know what I mean? And stuff like that. So it's ridiculous. Absolutely. Leeson. JJ is a beast player. The next big player coming up, absolutely, and we need to keep hold of him, absolutely. Freddie, any news on Maine's future? It's crazy to think how things are turning out for him. Football moves that far too fast. Football, you're only as good as your last game, as they say in football, isn't it? And football is very fickle as well. You know, I would say one thing in football. It's about luck as well. I would say luck plays an amazing, massive role in football. Luck, right? So, for example, the ball is round, right? It can go that way, it can go that way, it can go that way. It's all about luck at the end of the day. So when Mainu comes on, for example, against Brentford, and he was the last man, he got caught out, and then Brentford went up and scored. When he came on against Brighton, Man United sat back. They weren't as good as they were. When you come on the pitch, you have to make a difference. You have to make something happen. I know it's a little bit unfair. I do see things from all angles that you need a number of games before you can get into your rhythm. But if you're trying to compete with someone like Bruno, or you know what I mean, you have to make sure when you get on that pitch, you do something amazing. Whether it's a tackle, whether it's bringing that ball forward, whether you get a goal, whether you get assist. You know what I mean? You know, whether it's a clearance off the line, you have to hope that something big happens for you, and you have to make it happen for yourself. Don't just come on there nonchalantly thinking that I'm the man, I should be playing anyway, blah, blah, blah. I was the golden boy in my first year. I went to England and the Euros. You've got to make sure it happens now. And hopefully, Mainu will get his opportunity during the AFCON. I hope so. Let's wait and see. Big up, Freddie, by the way. Dan, morning, Sal. I see Lamens as our good luck charm, as he believes in his ability, and yet is to be losing Man United team. Winning mentality, setting early. Come on, United. Winning mentality from the back, isn't it, Dan? And going forward, then and that's what we're talking about. A goalkeeper like Senny Lamens just distributes. I know a funny word, distribute, isn't it, for a goalkeeper, but distributes confidence. A goalkeeper that reduces anxiety, reduces indecisiveness, is the goalkeeper for me, because those are the kind of goalkeepers that used to work with Man United. I'm talking about Peter Schmeichel and Van der Sar. I even think, look, you know, David De Gea was a great goalkeeper, great saver of the ball, but he never kind of relaxed the defense, if you know what I mean. He never brought calmness into the defense, if you know what I mean. He would come out with an amazing save and stuff like that, but he would never exert confidence into the back line, that the back line could push forward. Don't worry about me, you go forward. It was never that kind of goalkeeper. I do believe that Senny Lamens is this kind of goalkeeper, and I'm really excited about Senny Lamens going forward. Of course, we don't want to put too much pressure on the lad, but I'm very excited to see what he can achieve at Man United, absolutely. Big up, Dan. Mars, realistically speaking, how fast are the Glazers looking to sell this term? It all depends on the regeneration project. Yeah, I've said this for a very, very long time. And I mentioned it during this rumors about Qatar, rumors about Dubai, and rumors about other consortiums that want to purchase Manchester United or invest in Manchester United, that the biggest thing for the investors is the regeneration project. The biggest thing in regards to the Glazers is the regeneration project. If this regeneration project doesn't go through, but it's expected to go through, but if it doesn't go through, then the Glazers will be forced to show their hand and go, because they are in line to make up to 10 billion in the regeneration project. This is why, if the regeneration project doesn't happen, Man United are worth 5 billion, right? Because the only reason they were slapping a 10 to 15 billion price tag on Man United is because of this potential regeneration project. Now, you imagine the regeneration project. You imagine the amount of money you're in line to make through franchises, hotels, concerts, etc. You're in line to make a permanent amount of money, isn't it? Now, if this doesn't happen, and there are rumors about other entities buying the land, which would be great, I'm not going to lie, because I want the Glazers out. I don't care about a shiny new toy, I'll be honest with you, in the stadium. I care about the Glazers going out. I think about the bigger picture. I want the Glazers to lead the football club. That's what I want. Ultimately, that's what I want the most. Do you know what I mean? LT, big up LT. How you doing, my friend? I hope you're doing well. Big up Sal. I saw the interview with Wilcox, and standards, mentality, and talent was his main points, and that he need to be more players, that not just with the talent, but with the proper character as well. It's something, LT, that Sir Alex Ferguson used to touch on many, many times when we were buying players. He didn't only look at the talent. He looked at the attitude, right? He looked at the attitude of the player. And it's something that we've got sort of gone away from over recent years. It's happened this season during the summer. We signed, obviously, Cunha and Embremo, these characters. Do you know what I mean? We got one in the blue moon, like Licha Martinez was one of them. Bruno was one of them. But we got Cunha and Embremo this summer, which epitomized the character and the attitude that we are looking for, to be honest with you. And I think that this is what we need. This kind of character, a Cunha and Embremo kind of character. Do you know what I mean? These type of players that we need at Man United, because we've been lacking them. We've had a lot of the times we've had characters that recently give up. When the going gets tough, they give up and everything. And we need to move away from this kind of character, in my opinion. Absolutely. Do you really think the team from Islington will win? Which team is from Islington? They're from Woolwich. They're from Woolwich. If you know, you know. Absolutely. Absolutely. Agreed. Luck is massive. Absolutely. Luck is massive. Luck. You think about the treble winning season, and you think about the amount of luck we had. You know, you think about what happened during that season. And you think about things that went our way. The ball could have went that way. Could have been a free kick. Could have been a penalty. Schmeichel might not save that penalty in the FA Cup semi-final. Do you know what I mean? These kind of things that happen, of course. Luck plays a huge part in football. I mean, you make your own luck, of course. If you play a positive football and you have ambition, you will be blessed and you will get luck coming your way, hopefully. Do you know what I mean? Absolutely. God willing. LT, the next two games are pivotal for the momentum, and after the international break, we need to take advantage of the fixtures and collect as many points as we can and get used to winning games. Absolutely, we should. Look, if we win these next two games, I do believe that Man United's difficult period, which is like, you know, it has been one of the pound for pound the most difficult fixture list in the Premier League, in my opinion. If we manage to get through this few games and we manage to get to the international break, winning 5 in a row, can you imagine? We have Everton next. That would be 6 in a row. You know what I mean? And then you're thinking, wow, Man United just won 6 in a row. You know what I mean? And we need to create the positive records back. We need to get some positivity, some positive records. Now, Man United's biggest win ratio in their history, in the Premier, let's say the Premier League history, the biggest win ratio was 8 games. All right. So let's get to 8 games. Let's get to 9 games. Let's get to 10 games. Let's try and do it. Let's try and create some more positive records, because everyone's throwing all the negative records at us at the moment. So let's try and get some positivity going. Chado say, Wilkes into regards, we need to get Premier League confident player, Semenyo, Bournemouth for a start. Semenyo, Premier League confident, we've already got Embremo and Cunha. We can't have Semenyo as well. Semenyo can play left wing, but it's not his best position. You can't have Embremo, Cunha and Semenyo. We need to fix that midfield. That's not going to work at the end of the day. You have to think about things. Common sense is what prevails. Common sense is thinking that Man United have got Bruno and they've got Cunha. That's where Semenyo plays. We could play Semenyo as a left winger, but Semenyo as a left winger is not a defensive play. He doesn't play left defensive. He can play as a winger, but he's not a left wing back, if you know what I mean. He's a number 10, or a proper winger or a proper left winger. We're playing on the left, but attacking wise with a left back behind him. We have to think about things, obviously, who you're going to leave out. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, we can't have Semenyo sitting on the bench. We can't have Cunha sitting on the bench. Do you know what I mean? You have to have a balance in the squad. This is what we're talking about. Think about the superstars. We think too much about the superstar. My goodness me, he's a superstar. But Cunha was better than Semenyo last season, right? And Mbeumo was better than Semenyo last season, and he will be better this season. And listen, guys, we need to keep those two in the team. It's not just about buying the shiny new toy. That's it. I wouldn't buy Semenyo yet. No. And the reason is because I think Man United's midfield needs fixing before we do anything, before we bring in another attacking player permanently. Do you know what I mean? We need to fix that midfield before anything else. And we need to look at things on a footballing level, on a balance level. Do you know what I mean? Not just throw money at attackers, you know what I mean? And stuff like that. We need to think about that. Of course, Semenyo is a fantastic player, but we can't have so many of the same type of players in our team. You know what I mean? Absolutely not. But that is what we're talking about. If I was to say right now what Man United need Adam Wharton, Elliot Anderson, maybe a Baleba, maybe someone like that, maybe a Gume, something like that. Absolutely. Yeah, but squad depth, so you're going to leave Cunha and Mbeumo on there. You can't leave a Semenyo, Cunha and Mbeumo on the bench, mate. That's not how it works. You can't leave one of them on the bench. They're great players. You can't leave one of them on the bench. You need a little bit of a lesser sort of player that you can bring on and develop as well. You can't have Semenyo, who wants first team football, Cunha, who wants first team football, and Mbeumo, who wants first team football. That doesn't matter. And you're going to pay 70 million for Semenyo when we haven't got a midfield. Make it make sense, mate. Absolutely not. It's not. And he's not going to play left wing back. Absolutely not. So we need a midfielder. We need a couple of midfielders. Semenyo, Man United will be concentrating on the midfield in the summer. Let me tell you that right now. And it's going to be Adam Wharton. It's going to be Elliot Anderson. It's going to be Carlos Baleba. It's going to be any one of those players that I've been mentioning, guys, over the last few months. Of course, we will love Semenyo in our football team, but we got Cunha and we have to do it. It's not about squad depth. You can't keep these players on the bench. That is it. At the end of the day, you have to have a lesser kind of player, like a Bawardi, like I just said today. Like these type of players, I've been mentioning a couple of players there. These type of players that can grow. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, this is not about, oh, he's my favorite player. Semenyo's my favorite player. I want him at my football club because he's my favorite player. We don't work like that. We work on the fact that we need to build a team, right? A team. I remember when Man United purchased Michael Carrick, right? And I remember that Carrick wasn't my favorite player. I thought, why are we signing Michael Carrick? What is Michael Carrick going to give to Man United? West Ham, Tottenham player. What's he going to do for Man United? He became one of the greatest midfielders in Man United's history. You know what I mean? And this is what we need to do. We think about the balance of the team. You know, if we got attackers, that would mean we got Mount, Xerxes, Cunha, Mbeumo. We got all those players already. We're going to buy more attackers. We need to think about the other end as well. Wing backs, midfield, and stuff like that. And that's what I would say about that. But, you know, as everything in life, we have our favorite players. Fair enough. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. Absolutely. Mars, we need to grab players that actually want to play for Man United, not just in it for the money. Agreed. That is a big thing as well, Mars. Obviously, I do hope that Man United have changed their mentality in regards to these players, in regards to signing players that, you know, are mercenaries, basically. I think we have moved away from that somewhat because I'm looking at Cunha and looking at Mbeumo. And the great thing about these players is that I really, really like their attitude. I love their attitude, the way they want to play, the way they want to fight, the way they want to trap back. I love Cunha and I love Mbeumo's attitude. You know what I mean? I really do. Absolutely, absolutely. Now, guys, look, if Man United did need an attacking player, Man United need another striker to complement Sesko, of course. We only have one striker. Let's not forget that. Squad depth is important, but also not create. What people have to understand is that not to create hostility within the squad. If players are on the bench, they're going to be starting nam. You know what I mean, and stuff like that. I done this. I done that for Bournemouth. I done this. I done that. They're not going to, this is what we're talking about. So you have to bring in players that you can develop as well. You got your first team, and then you got players you can bring in that can be the next one through, not already developed. So you're going to be like, my goodness me. You know what I mean? That's what Barcelona do and stuff like that, which it doesn't work, of course, guys. Absolutely. But what I would say is that, look, one thing is the most important thing away from transfers is Man United winning the game tomorrow. That is what's most important. And what's most important is Man United to win the game tomorrow. That's all that matters. I don't care about anything else. I don't care about players who are not playing for us at the moment. I will tell you about the players we are linked with. But I will tell you right now that all that matters for me is those players tomorrow go out in that game and absolutely tear their limbs apart and just go out there and win the game, guys. Absolutely. And I believe that we will win the game. I believe that it's going to be a big game for Man United tomorrow. I actually believe that this is going to be the most difficult game. I don't know about you guys, but I think this is going to be the most difficult game. Away from home, Nottingham Forest, lost their last season. Can we make it happen? Can we do it? Can we win? I hope we do, guys. I really do. And as long as we keep tight, as long as we keep steady, as long as we keep playing our game and stick by the philosophy, we'll be all right. We have to score the first goal, though. I really do believe that. And if we score the first goal, I think we're going to win the game. Absolutely. LT, consistent performances should be the next step because the results have also come. We have prayed for consistency for the longest of all time and build on identity. Absolutely, without saying, LT, it's obvious, mate. Consistency is a big part of football. Consistency is a big part of life in general, whether you want to go to the gym, whether you're running on the treadmill. Consistency is one of the most important things in life. The way you eat, everything. Do you know what I mean? Absolutely. So consistency is important in life. It goes without saying. And I would urge people, whether you're on a diet, whether you're eating well, whether you want to train for something, consistency is what makes the difference between a winner and a loser. Absolutely. And Man United, when we used to lose games, and we did used to lose games, we used to lose games under Sir Alex Ferguson in the past. But one thing we used to do when we used to lose a game, we would go on a 5, 6, 7 match winning run. And I want to see Man United do that. Right? 3 games, 4 games. All right. 3 games, 4 games, 5 games, 6 games, 7 games, and then actually make a statement. Do you know what I mean? And shut all those doubters up, all those pessimists up. Now, one of the biggest things that people said is that backing Ruben Amorim is toxic positivity. That's what some people say. It's toxic positivity. It's not toxic positivity. When you're looking at the context, when you're looking at the culture of the football club, when you're looking at, the overall bigger picture about what's going on with Manchester United, toxic positive. People just say that because they were wrong about Ruben Amorim, which they were, and we scored them. I've seen a lot of winners at this football club. I've been supporting Man United since the late 80s. I know what a winner is. I know what a loser is. I see a winner in Ruben Amorim. I really do see a winner in him. And I hope that he can achieve his goals. And I hope that he reaches the potential that I expect him to reach. I really do. And a lot of people were calling for Ruben Amorim's head way too early. You're talking about a couple of games in the season. They were saying, sack him, get rid of him now. I want Man United to lose so that he can get sacked. This is a disgrace, and you should look at yourself in a mirror and look at yourself and say, I am a disgrace. That's what you should do. Because when you think like that, and when you think about your own football club, it is just because you want to be proven right, you want your opinion to be right, it's bad at the end of the day. And I mentioned this yesterday, and there's a couple of people that were wrong because I've been on the stream in this community hundreds of times. I've been preaching about how Ruben Amorim's get it wrong. Ruben Amorim should change to 4-4-4. I mean, what they need to do is apologize to Ruben Amorim. Not to me, not to anyone. Say, Ruben Amorim, I'm sorry. Right? That's what they need to do. Because all the 4-3-3 merchants, the 4-5-1 merchants, the 4-2-3-1 merchants, where they've gone? Where they gone? It's all gone. Where is it? Because you know as well as I do, it's not the tactics. It's not the system. It's not a reinvention of the style of play. It's not tweaks here and there. As I said yesterday, you are not a tactical oracle. Right? And that's what I said yesterday. And I believe that these people are thinking that there's some tactical. Look at that, the way he did that. Every manager tweaks things in games. Every game is not the same. In game is not the same. So you have to tweak it a little bit different sometimes. He's done that at the beginning of the season. Every single manager does that. Every manager. But ultimately, it's a 3-4-2-1. That's what it is. And it works. Right? It works. Now, there's a lot of people coming out there. No, he's tweaked it. He changed it. He adjusted. He did it. Stop talking rubbish. You got it wrong, and that is it. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. And what Ruben Amorim said yesterday, he hasn't changed the APN. You keep coming on here saying he's changed it. He hasn't changed nothing. What is the tactics? 3, 4, 2, 1. Hold that, APN. Hold that. He's changed nothing. He's changed nothing. I know you're going to jump on it. If he changed. No, you got it wrong. Hold it. Factually, he hasn't changed it. Factually, we had no long ball goals against Brentford. No long ball goals. So factually, he hasn't changed it. It's exactly the same. 3, 4, 2, 1. You can't. You don't come on here like you're some tactical guru, mate. You're not. You're not. Sean Dice said something about the 4-4-2. Yes. Sean Dice said something about the 4-4-2, saying that on the overlap, he said that he would win more with the 4-4-2. But that was a short-term thinking. So basically what Ruben Amorim is saying, that it takes time with his system. And let me tell you why he hasn't changed it. Quote him from yesterday's press conference, guys. Let me quote him from yesterday's press conference. He spoke about the 4-4-2. He goes, yes, Sean Dice said that about the 4-4-2. So we may win more games with the 4-4-2, but long-term, we will be better with this formation, this system. Why would he say that if he changed it? That's the way. At the end, that is the way. If he changed it, why would he say that? Ask me this question. Ask this question. Exactly, APN. Exactly, Freddie. Yes, he changed it. He kicked out the shitty players. He's got the players that play that system, are good with that system. He's got a goalkeeper who can kick with both feet, who can kick it long, who can kick it short. We didn't have that with Binder, and you didn't have that with Onana. You're just saying, oh, don't talk to me like that because you don't like being told you were wrong, which you were. Right? And people were wrong about Amorim, and what they need to do is that they need to just hold it and just move on. You need to apologize to Ruben Amorim because Ruben Amorim said in his press conference he's not changed. So APN, are you trying to say that Ruben Amorim is wrong about his own tactics? That he said that my tactics are the same, I'm not going to change, but in the long term we'll be better. That's what he said yesterday. Right? So how has he changed? He said he's not going to change for the Pope. He said, I'm not going to change for the Pope. He's a Catholic. I think he's already long gone, mate. He's long gone. He's long gone. He's not going to change for the Pope. And that was it, guys. What we need to do as a collective is support your football team. Even if you were wrong, that's life. Sal, some fans' knowledge is tiny. He did not change anything. He said it yesterday. At Sporting, Yale, United were direct. United are direct now. Exactly. That's his formation. That's how he's been trying to play from the beginning. The only difference is now is that we have the players to play it and the players are getting used to it. That's the only difference now. It's not he's changed. The players have got used to it. The players are more accustomed to it. Right? And we got players who can play it. We didn't have Mbeumo and Cunha last season. You know what I mean? This is what we're talking about. Now they say, no, he's tweaked it. He's tweaked it. It's a 3-4-2-1. In-game management is different every game, every manager in the world. In-game management is different. Ball goes that way, ball goes that way, ball goes that way, ball goes up. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. And that's what I would say is 40 years of watching football. It's not being a diss to you. It's not being rude to you. It's not saying that, oh, you know what, you're being horrible to me because I disagreed with your opinion. You know, you're a horrible person because I disagreed with your opinion. No, it just comes from a place of knowledge. I've been in football 40 years. I manage a football team over here in the UAE. You know what I mean? I do things in football. You know what I mean? I talk to footballers. I've spoken to Jason McAteer. I've spoken to Tony Cotti. I've spoken to all these people on this channel. They speak to me because we have ball knowledge. We know we can talk about football. We can talk about ball and this and that. The thing is, with this tactical adjustment, is a self-defense mechanism because they got it wrong. They were wrong. And those people who wanted Ruben Amorim out so soon were wrong. Now, Ruben Amorim will lose games. I've said it. Ruben Amorim will lose games. Every manager loses games. We are still in the process of building. But what Ruben Amorim is trying to do is trying to change a culture at this football club. You know? LT, complacency has been our biggest weakness against teams we should beat, like Forest tomorrow. So I agree tomorrow will be a difficult game. And if we win these type of games, then Europe is guaranteed. Come on, LT. Absolutely, mate. That's what it's all about at the end of the day. At the end of the day, there's people like Mark Goldbridge, who I have a lot of respect for, by the way. 2 million followers, subscribers on YouTube. They said exactly what I've said. The most people with the biggest ball knowledge, I said exactly what I said. You know? It's only a narrative in the Western world, by the way. You know, it's not a narrative over here in the Middle East. They say that the tactics are finally starting to work. The players are starting to get used to the system, etc., etc., etc. Sal, some of our fans are arrogant. They do not want to be deaf. I mean, some of our fans have got they got delusions of grandeur, delusions of grandeur as well. Delusions of grandeur, right? They don't want to be proven wrong. They've been told yes most of their lives. So what they will do is they will come out and say, no, he tweaked it there. No, you were wrong. He's not tweaked nothing. He's doing the same as he did. I will bring up the stats if you want. He's doing the same as he did at the beginning of the season. The reason we brought in Bremo and Cunha is so we can play more direct. All right? We're playing more direct because we have Bremo and Cunha. No shit, Sherlock. What did we say? What did we say last season? He needs the players to play his system. He needs the players to play his system. La-di-da-di-da-di-da. He now has the players to play his system. And it's working. Surprise, surprise. I feel like Cilla Black. What's going on? It's working because he has the players to play his system. It's working because these players have had more chance to practice in the system, in training, whatever it is, and now they're used to it. As I said yesterday, I'm training for something. I'm on a treadmill. I'm training for a marathon. I might struggle at 1 kilometer in the first week. It might be easier in the second week. In 1 month, I might be running 2 kilometers. You know, in 2 months, I might be running 5 kilometers easy without even feeling it. That is practice. Consistency, as someone said earlier in the channel. It's all about consistency. It's all about, working hard. That's what it's all about. And you will get there in the end. Benny. Hey, teacher, leave those kids alone. Someone just got scored. Hey, what can I do, Benny? They set me up for this. If they want to come on there, I will bring them the sheet. I will get them a piece of paper. I will go on the bring and become a spreadsheet bloody content creator like those other guys and show them the tactics, how the tactics haven't changed. The only thing that changed is the players on the pitch and the players that are getting used to the system. This is not about me being right. This is about Manchester United. And I want to refrain people from thinking that, I want Man United to lose so that I can be proven wrong. Because this is what some of them doing. This is what they're doing. They want to be proven right. Right? Against Nottingham Forest tomorrow. So I'm trying to combat that. I'm trying to stop them from wanting their own football club to lose. And this was my biggest statement yesterday. Stop wanting your own football club to lose football matches so that you get proven right. Who cares if you're right? If Man United are losing, we're all wrong. If Man United are winning, we're all winning. Who gives a damn at the end of the day, realistically? Do you know what I mean? But what you have to do, you have to hold it when you have to hold it. And listen, you put pressure on this football club. Some people have big platforms and they spoke a lot of nonsense. You have to come out there and acknowledge that. And don't sugarcoat it with crap. You know what I mean? Missing piece of the midfield. Yeah, we have missing pieces still to this day. And a left wing back and a right wing back, I would say, Leeson. Left and right, should I say. But let's not turn our back on Dorgu. Dorgu will be a good player. Dorgu would be a good player. Let's not turn our back. He's only 20. Patrice Evra weren't even at Monaco at 20 years old. Beckham was at Preston North End at 20 years old. Knowledge. 4 likes away from 50 likes, guys. Come on, guys. Absolutely big up. Thank you so much. Let's get to 50 likes. Benny, 100% with you since day one. I never doubt this manager, not for a sec. I remember you, Benny. I remember everyone who turned their back on the manager and were doubting the manager. And I remember you, Benny. I always missing the bigger picture. Absolutely, Benny. Absolutely. Absolutely. Amram slowly cooking. Beware, beast is showing up. Come on, that's what it's all about, my friends. Absolutely, guys. No, Dave. No one is timed out on my channel. There's been people who've been blocked for racism, but that's about it. The only thing I don't tolerate on my channel is bigotry and racism. That is it. No one gets timed out on my channel, guys. No one gets timed out. Why? Because they're wrong? Because they get schooled, Dave? I don't know. But maybe they timed themselves out. I don't know. But no one's timed out on my channel, Dave. Don't spread false information, mate. Sal, the players also said the problem is not the system. I just think that people just need to learn. And, it's a bit like, if I can't read or write, I'm pretending to read or write. And I'm saying, no, it's right. I read it right. No, you spelled that wrong. No, but I read it right. It sounds like it. Yeah, Dave's absolutely ball, always open. It's always open discussion, even if I disagree. And one thing you need to understand, Dave, if I don't like anyone, if I block people, why do I read out their comments? If I don't like anyone disagreeing with me, why do I read out their comments? Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Nothing has changed because we are playing long with Bayern, but his accuracy was lower. Absolutely. There you go, mate. Spot on. And we will win with less intensity, and his system needs intensity, and we have players better suited for the system now. And that's it. Now, I would happily sit on here and say, listen, guys, I owe you an apology. I was wrong. I would happily do that. I've done it in my life loads of times. I'm not egotistical. I come from a one-bedroom flat in Leytonstone, 5 of us. You know what I mean? I'm not no egotistical maniac. One thing I do know about is football. And when it's bullshit, I call that bullshit. And that's just life. I mean, at the end of the day. One thing I have seen an evolution at Man United from the beginning since I started supporting this football club, from get him out of my club in regards to Sir Alex Ferguson to this day, get him out of my club. I've heard that so many times over my life now. But what is the common demeanor here? What's the common similarities here? What's going on? It's that we're not successful, right? We're seeing signs of change. We're seeing a difference. Long may it continue. Again, Ruben Amorim will lose games. He may lose tomorrow. But the important thing is, guys, is not to overreact. Not to overreact. But big up, Dave, anyway. Thank you for being a subscriber. Thank you so much. I do not block anyone. No, not for football talk. I've had people, and I can prove it to you, I've had people who come on here who try to be racist and try to be bigots and swear at me and stuff. Once it gets into the realms of abuse, that's when I cut it off from the source, and that's what I do. 2 more to hit 50 likes, guys. What's going on with this? We need 2 more to hit 50 likes. Can you guys give me 50 likes, please? Please, come on, guys, give me 50 likes. I'm not begging. Absolutely not. I really appreciate everyone for smashing a like. It really does mean a lot. And you guys do mean a lot to me. If we were in a pub, if we were in a bar, and I was sitting there with you guys, right, with a pint, we would be talking face to face. And we will be having this great conversation about football and Ruben Amorim and this and that. And it will be a very enticing, clever, smart, happy conversation. When you're on here, people they have an image on their mind of something. Get angry. Look, embrace the fact that we're winning football matches. Embrace this, right? Because winning football matches is not a guarantee in any form. We can have Ancelotti, we can have Klopp, we can have Pep Guardiola. Winning football matches is not a guarantee, especially Man United these days. So I really do hope that this continues. I really do hope that Man United win and carry on winning. Like I said before, when we were under Sir Alex Ferguson, we didn't used to win 3 in a row, 4 in a row. We used to win 5, 6, and 7. Man United's record in the Premier League is 8 games won in a row, 12 games unbeaten. I think it was 12 or 12 or 14 games unbeaten. So those are the levels that we need to get to. You know, Dave, Liverpool's next 3 games are looking peak. I really don't see these guys winning. Crazy even saying that this after they spent. It's mad, Dave. But again, look, you know what I would say about Liverpool? I said that they overcooked it, Dave. I thought they signed too many players. That's my opinion. I said it on Hussam's channel. I've said it on Mo's channel. I've said that they've overcooked it. I thought they bought too many players. Now, what in my opinion, what Liverpool need to do, and it's a bit like what happened at Man United, they need to build a new team. They need to build a team around the new players. Because now they've got an influx of players that have been there before with the Jurgen Klopp and players that are new under Arne Slot. Hold on. Let me message my wife. Absolutely. So, look, the one thing I would say though, Dave, and everyone else, right? The one thing I would say, guys, is that this one thing is that they want a lot of these media outlets and that want us to fail. That's one thing I would say. 50 likes. Thank you so much. Big up. Thank you for 50 likes. Thank you, Ephraim. Thank you, the legends, Benny. Of course, all these Amram haters should also remember that they changed the player power culture, and that's where they are. Those dressing room leaks are now. There is positive change in the team. Guys, can I say something, LT? Back in the day, when there didn't used to be social media, there didn't used to be YouTube and stuff like that, and people still found a way to argue. I was on the Man United forums, on the manunited.com. I used to go on the Man United forum, and people used to still find a way to argue. You know what I mean? Even when we were successful. It's just the way it is, man. Honestly. Big up, Beef Bully. What's going on, Beef Bully? Long time. Might be doing well. I hate to say it, but I see Arsenal win it this time. They look good. The one thing about Arsenal is that Arsenal are very good defensively. And when you got a good defense, Sir Alex Ferguson said it, defense wins your leagues, attack win your games and stuff like that. And that's what it is. Greetings. What's going on, Jaffa? What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're blessed. Greetings, buddy. It's been a while. I know. I told everyone, you told everyone, Man United and Amram are changing things around, but some of the people didn't listen. The fan channels flex and go. The one thing, I don't mind opinion, Jaffa, but when you want your team to lose so you can be proven wrong, that is where I stop it. That's the difference. Do you know what I mean? Absolutely. Benny, I'm at an age now where Ferguson came me to put up with all the same nonsense, Alex Flags and all that. Yeah, me too, mate. And back then I was the same. Even at my young age, I was still saying the same thing. That's absolutely true. They changed their model and went full Chelsea mode just to buy names instead of profile. Yeah. Think about Real Madrid when they had the Galacticos. Were they as successful as they should have been? No, they were successful when they built a team. It's like when Man United built under Alex Ferguson, we'll buy a Carrick, we'll buy a Dwight York. They're not the best players that are available, but they fitted the team and the balance of the team, And that's something that Liverpool are losing now. They're forgetting that. Absolutely. Guys, I want to thank everyone for joining me today. I really appreciate you all. Of course, you're absolute legends. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new. Smash a like on the video. All that sweet stuff. Much love to you all. I really do appreciate you all, guys. Absolutely. I really do. But thank you, everyone. And keep moving. And we wait until tomorrow. It's a big game tomorrow. Hopefully you can join me for the watch along. We'll be back later on. Guys, I will be on Mo's channel at 2 p.m. UK time. 2 p.m. UK time. Judge Mo, I'm on his channel later on today. So keep your notifications. I will be, guys, absolutely. Thank you so much, guys. But guys, thank you. Let me just read this tweet. 1 second. Great, guys. Great, thank you. Arsenal aren't winning a league. On that note, guys, thank you. There we go. Thank you, guys. Have a great day, great night, great evening, wherever you're in the world. I'll see you later. And I'll write a little message on my YouTube when I go live on the other channel, guys. Thank you so much. Much love to you all. I'm Sal Warner. This is Breaking Dawn, and I'll see you soon. Take it easy. Peace.